Hey, today we're going to talk about the clarinet. So the first thing I'm going to talk about is the names of the parts of the instrument while I try to show you how to put it together. So you're going to take the bell and the lower joint right here, and you're going to want to put these together first, and you want to put your fingers on these three tone holes with your pinky down here, slide it together like so. Uh, while I do this, I'm going to mention that you'll want to use cork grease so that you're not forcing the instrument together. So to put the upper joint onto the lower joint, you want to put down this key right here and not touch any of these keys right here. So then you lift the top part of the bridge, but not this lower part. So then it slides together much more easily. So next we're going to take the barrel of the barrel of the clarinet and slide it on like so. Lastly, we're going to take the mouthpiece. For the sake of time, I already put the reed onto the mouthpiece. But to just try to explain how I would normally do that, you want to put the ligature on the mouthpiece first and then slide the reed into the ligature so you're not putting the ligature on top of the reed, risking cracking it. So to talk about reeds for a second, you'll want to make sure that you don't play on a cracked reed, which will just make a very bad sound. Also, if a reed is warped, it'll look kind of wavy. If this happens, you'll want to try to unwarp it on a flat surface, or you can try to sand it down, but most likely you might just end up having to retire it if you can't do these things and make it still sound good. So you want to be cycling through reeds, so then if one just gives out one day, then you'll still have a couple others to play on. So next we're going to talk about posture and hand position. So when you go to play the clarinet, you want to make sure that you have a good straight up posture, sitting on the edge of your chair, sitting straight up with your chin up. That's very important. And when you go to play, you want to have the instrument at about a 30-degree angle, not at quite a 45. That's a bit too high, but you know it's going to want to be a little bit more downward with your chin up, of course. And a beginner might be slouching a bit or have it at the wrong angle, and this will just cause problems in the long run. Will make it harder to get a good sound. So to talk about embouchure for a second, you want to make sure that you have your teeth resting on the top of the mouthpiece with your bottom lip curled over your bottom teeth, and you want the corners of your lips to be downward, like so. Something like that. So a student can have too much lip pressure or not enough lip pressure. Too much will restrict the sound and make it hard to get it out. Sometimes the sound won't come out at all. If there's not enough, you can go very flat, or once again, if it's an extreme case, once again, not being able to get sound out at all. So when you want to learn to make a good sound, you want to take the barrel off the instrument, off the upper joint, with just the barrel and mouthpiece, and you want to try to get a concert F sharp. I don't know if I actually got it right there, but you'll want to sit at a piano and check the note. Yeah, I did. Okay, so anyways, with just the right amount of lip pressure, air should move freely through the instrument without the instrument actually going flat. This gives you a very characteristic sound, and this is your first steps into trying to make that sound happen. So next we're going to talk about fingering and technique issues. You're going to want to start with the notes E, D, and C, which are thumb 1, thumb 2, thumb 3. And I don't know if I mentioned this before, but you want to have your thumb at a 45-degree angle back here. You don't want to be pressing the register key unless you're going into that upper register. So some chromatic fingerings are, if you want to play the low B, you'll have thumb 1, 2, 3, and it's normally your middle finger, but in the chromatic fingering, it's going to be thumb 1, 2, 3, 1, and then this banana key. If you want to play an F sharp, it's normally just index finger, but a chromatic fingering would be thumb and these two side keys right here. I don't know if I'm showing it good enough, but you want to press both of those. Some common mistakes are not using those chromatic fingerings, which causes a blip in the sound. Also, fingers might not be covering the tone holes, which can make some funny noises or not let you get a note out. So just to talk about articulation for a second, you should think of articulation as just stopping the airstream. So it turns into a versus a t, or like it would be a tut. So there is a beginning, middle, and end to the sound. So ideally, you want to have your tip of the tongue to the tip of the reed. I play a little bit farther back, like a little bit right there. I'm not going to get gross about it, but a beginner might be trying to articulate with their tongue or with the reed too far back on their tongue, which causes a slap effect, and that just sounds not very good. So to talk about intonation for a second, your tuning notes will be the middle G, which is normally no fingers at all. But to keep it in tune, you want to put down your right hand fingers, which are 1, 2, 3, and then pinky on this key right here. And if this goes out of tune, you want to pull out or push in, depending on if it's sharp or flat. Sharp, you want to pull out. Flat, you want to push in. The barrel to the upper joint. Then another tuning note you'll want to do is the middle C, which is thumb, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, pinky. And if this goes out of tune, you want to adjust the upper joint to the lower joint, making sure that you don't throw the bridge out of alignment. So be sparing with how much you adjust that. So if you want to manipulate intonation on the fly, you can use less lip pressure or more lip pressure. Less will make your note go flatter, and tightening your embouchure will make you go sharper. Some notes that go out of tune really commonly are the throat tones. So without adjusting anything, and with the right hand down, it'll be. So it usually goes sharp. Putting down your right hand fingers will make it all balance out a little bit more, go a little flatter. So it's really hard to jump registers just because it requires a different kind of voicing. For example, if you're going at an upper register idea and then you have to jump below, it's kind of hard to rethink how you're making your sound. So you might have to re-articulate, which you might not always want to do. But anyways, the 3 clarinet registers are chalumeau, I hope I'm saying that right, throat tones, and clarion. So chalumeau will be your lower register. And then throat tones will be using these keys right here, like I mentioned before. And then clarion will be anything from about a B upward. And then above that will be altissimo, but I won't get into that. So anyways, thank you. That's the end of my video. Have a nice day.